Let's get deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
He was like short but like super ripped, and he was the starting running back on the football team. And his Instagram was Eagle running back stud, which is like the worst Instagram ever, except for the one I gave my brother when he was in 7th grade. My brother was first getting on not Instagram, I'm sorry, on an Instant Messenger.
The one
I gave my brother an Instant Messenger handle, and I was like, Chris, what are you into? I was like, you're into paintballing, and you're into chicks, and like he wasn't really even that into either.
Yeah,
he's a 7th grade, he's not into anything. And then so I was like, all right, I got it. Paintball, letter N, ladies. Paintball and ladies. Horrendous, dude. Horrendous, dude.
That's amazing.
It's the worst Big Brother in history. Paintball and ladies.
There is. It's hard to imagine a time without before Instagram when you could just go on and just see like the hottest babes, and you're just like, wow.
I remember one time you said to me, you're like, dude, how many books would Hemingway have written and if you could look at babes doing squats all day?
Yeah, it's true.
And I was like, none, dude.
None.
You would have written 0 books, dude.
Dude, I sincerely believe that there would be half as many wars if throughout history humans could just look at butts.
That was someone said that in the show Generation Kill too. They were like, you know what the problem is with like Iraq when they were over there? They're like, there's no like, you can't see any like boobs.
Yeah.
If they could see boobs, like it would take people's anger down a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, probably. I mean, we've tried other things.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say?
Stokers, what's up, dudes? How you guys feeling on this fine day or whenever this gets to you? What up? My name is Chad. What up, dude?
What up, dog?
This is my colleague JT. I didn't properly introduce you there. I was just like, what up, dude?
No, dude, hey. I think they know me by now. Boom clap, Stokers, boom clap.
They'll be like, who's that other voice?
Yeah.
It's me, dudes.
And it's in the title of the podcast, too.
Yeah, so
they're sitting there and they're like, well, Chad said it's Chad. So the other guy who wasn't introduced,
yeah,
it's probably JT.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
You gotta make that connection.
You gotta be a master of deduction.
For sure. So yeah, just so we're clear, this is JT.
I am.
And I am Chad.
You certainly are.
How you doing, my dog?
Dude, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I think, yeah, I mean, typically I'm having a green drink during the podcast, but today we did some stuff before, so
yeah,
I'm green drinkless, but it's in me, so I still feel good.
For sure. I'm feeling good too. I've been having these CBD waters.
Oh,
lately.
Nice.
Yeah, and
is it relaxing you?
I think so. It's not like a fully like I'm just like whoa, I'm super relaxed, but I think it's like I feel some uplifting thing. This one's a pro-anti.
That's the thing. Everything outside of like genuine narcotics is kind of an imperceptible shift.
Yeah.
You can only really gauge the benefits in like good things that happen to you, but there's no like feeling to it. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah, because I mean they have all it like has lists on all the like benefits of it, and I'm just like, just the fact that it's on the bottle makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna trust the bottle.
Trust the benefits listed.
Yeah. So, yeah, this pro-anti. What up?
To be honest, I feel like I kind of got a rocket up my ass today.
How so?
Like I'm just jacked.
Like pumped up?
Yeah, like I mean, even when I'm standing still, I feel like I'm like everything's running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like I feel high velocity. I feel intensity in 10 cities.
I'm still kind of like in a good way.
Yeah, yeah. Or could be good, could be bad. Like when I was driving here, I just drove past it by 10 minutes. I was just listening to like
drove past the location.
Yeah, I just kept going, and then I looked around. I was like, dude, I'm in a totally different town.
Like, dude, I was way too into that Hinder track.
Yeah, like I was so deep in like whatever, and I wasn't even deep into anything. I was just so deep into nothing that I just like blasted past it.
Yeah, there's sometimes when I'm feeling really jacked up and I just start driving, and I'm like, I don't even want to go up to my destination. I'm just so jacked up right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, I got, we got a time, we got to be here, but I was like, whoa, like I just drove an extra 10 minutes and wasn't like cognizant of it at all.
Yeah. Let me drift this U-turn.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm just like I'm like moving. Like I'm already on my babe of the week.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
I like that you're progressively thinking.
I think that's a nice way to say it. So thank you, my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always stoked on intensity. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. Growing up in Orange County, it was like the coolest thing you could be. The thing you had to be was chill. Like if you got mad, if you were like, if like you'd lose every argument if the other guy was like, "Look, you're mad.
Yeah.
You're mad." You know what I mean? And then you're like, "Fuck, I am mad. I lost."
Yeah.
But only now as an adult, sort of, do I realize that like, mad can be good if channeled correctly.
Yeah, dude, and like, being chill is legit. And
The most legit.
you know, but there's been times when I've like have been fully in the moment where I'm like, all right, in this situation, I'm not going to be chill. I'm going to be intense. I'm going to be like a Chad where people are like, whoa, like this guy is really on a mission right now. But then people were like, man, you're so chill back there. And I'm like, fuck, that was not my intention. So that just, you know, there's sometimes when you can be called chill too much.
Yeah.
And it rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're just so chill there. I'm like, really? Because I thought I was dancing up a storm.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it was kind of chill. I'm like, well, for me, I think my baseline is so chill that I really got to go way over what I think is intense to be perceived as intense.
No, I remember when that snapper turtle came onto the shore at Salt Creek and you stabbed it with your shortboard. And you're like, sorry for being so ag back there. And I was like, you seemed pretty relaxed about it to me.
Yeah.
It felt like a mercy kill.
Yeah, and that, to be quite frankly, that comment kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I felt like a warrior in that instance. And I thought that I let out a pretty good, like, warrior roar.
When you went,
Oh, is that how it sounded? Because I thought it was more
that
like...
might have been the turtle. That was like, ugh.
No, that was me. Well, to me, in my ears, it sounded like, roar! And then, like, blood spurted everywhere.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
And you were just like, blood splattered over you, and you're like, dude, you okay? I'm just like, that was pretty intense, right?
Yeah, angry politeness. You were like, I'm sorry! You're hurting kids! You have to die!
Can I please kill this turtle?
The snapper turtle was like 180 years old, too, so it was on its last shell.
Yeah. It's the last 30 years.
Yeah, it only had like 60 more years to go.
Yeah. He was like, dude, just kill me.
He was like, I'm over it. I've seen it all. Dolphins do nothing for me now. I look at him and I'm like, yeah, another dolphin.
He's like, oh, thank you. Like 60 years, it's like nothing.
60 years of solitude.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm glad you're feeling intense. That's it's a good way. Apathy is the evil until it's some Van Wilder quote, but I can't remember it.
The glove that the devil slips his hand into?
That is correct.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Van Wilder's a genius.
Dude. It's like such a prolific movie. Shout out to Ryan.
All right, let's get into some shit. Let's get into some stuff.
Let's do it.
Did you hear about this girl in Phoenix who went on one date with a guy and then texted him 65,000 times?
65,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on the limb there and say she's over texting.
I think it's way too much.
Yeah.
But then our buddy Jay made such a good point today. He's like, why didn't he block her?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess like they finally caught her when surveillance showed her taking a bath in his tub when he was away on a trip.
They caught her what?
She was taking a bath in his tub while he was away on a trip, and she had a knife in her car.
That's intense.
She went to his work.
Yeah, that'd be such a mind fuck because, you know, maybe she's like texting photos. She's like, I'm in your bath right now. I'm in your bath. And you're like, oh, like, let me get back from this business trip. And she shows like another photo of like a katana. And you're like, this went from like pretty legit to not chill in an instant.
She says, oh, what I would do with your blood. I'd want to bathe in it.
Hmm.
She called herself the new Hitler. And she said, don't ever try to leave me. I'll kill you. I don't want to be a murderer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Props to her for knowing who she is.
At some point, if someone's like stalking you that hardcore,
Mm-hmm.
you got to consider a hitman.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to take life, but you're like, this is a massive inconvenience.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about just some chick who like you went on a couple dates with and then you ghosted her and she's texting you like angrily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all part of what happens.
Yeah.
But if it's 65,000 and she's taking baths in your tub and she's got a knife and she says you can't leave her, she's gonna be a murderer, I think at some point your brain, without even any choice in the matter, just says we got to eliminate the issue.
Yeah. I think in the eyes of the law, that should be a fair decision.
What do you think about the U.S. pulling out of the Iran deal?
Dude, complex issue. I'm glad you brought it up. I was actually talking to you about this earlier. I mean, there's arguments to both sides. I don't know which to choose, because, as you were saying, if you read both arguments, they both are sound.
They make good points.
So it's like, what is the right move? I guess time will tell, because we've spent some time in the Iran deal and now we're going to be out of it, and we'll see how things come into fruition. What do you think?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Trump says that we didn't negotiate as well as we could have. We could have gotten them to give us more stuff, for them to make more capitulations, and that the one thing we did get, which was them not working on their nuclear arsenal, they're not even abiding by that. So
Yeah.
it's the deal is null and void because
Yeah.
they're not respecting their side of it. And we lost some leverage when we let go of the economic sanctions. But then I hear, people from Obama's administration who are like, look, dudes, all you're doing is giving ammunition to the hardliners in the government to tell the people of Iran that the U.S. does not follow through on their deals. They'll never have your back, and they'll always do the selfish thing. And I'm like, that makes sense too. But then I heard a rebuttal to that was like, listen, dude, if you think there's reformers in the Iranian government, then you're eating Swiss cheese for dinner, partner. Because guess what? Everybody there's a hardliner. And here's the thing. I've never been.
That's good. Yeah. It's
No beaches.
no beaches. I'd say pretty negative vibes overall. Actually, I know people who go. So
I know
I want to say that.
Dude, I know what you mean 100% though, because there
Yeah.
are some countries I've never been to that you
Yeah.
just hear about them in the news a lot, and it's pretty one-sided, the kind of information you're getting. But I know people from there who say like, no, it can be fun and bustling,
Yeah.
and the people are more genuine than the people you meet here. And you're like, that all sounds very inviting. But then I've also heard other people be like, dog, not for you.
Well, dude, and
As a nudist, they tell me it's not for me.
yeah,
Not a nudist, but as an eccentric personality that can get naked at times.
you'd have an issue partying there because you would have to hold back.
I'd have to hold back big
And that
time.
would be a crying shame, because when you whip that dong out in a totally like, bro, I love you way, it is electric. So I think to like disregard that side of yourself would be criminal. Also, dude, I mean, this is just my honest opinion. Like, whenever I see movies of people in like Iraq or whatever, like soldiers, and they're like, "Oh, it sucks here. This place sucks. Like, I hate it. It sucks." I'm like, well, you do have a really good tan.
Maybe we should do a music festival in Tehran.
Yeah. Be like the Bronze Fest.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I saw a film from Iran by the director Ashghar Farhadi called A Separation, and I think it won Best Foreign Picture at the Oscars like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked some Iranian friends about it, and they're like, that movie's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So that's just like we get something from there, and we're like, this is so special. But then if you actually talk to the lokes, they're like, have you seen Fast and Furious? That's a movie.
Yeah. They're legit.
Yeah, I think it's it's a insightful movie about divorce and class warfare and
But dude, that's
other bullshit things that fancy movies try to make you think are more real than what's actually real. The relationships of a fucking criminal crew.
Dude, that's the thing about politics is there's like, so it annoys me that people are always trying to make you like pick a team. I'm like,
And tell them what do you
like
read?
I don't read politics, so it's not like people are like, what's your political opinion? I'm like, I don't know, I don't read. I read self-help.
So what
if you
can
want,
you give them an opinion?
like, if you want a solid opinion on grit, the value of grit, I'm here, dog. If you want to know how to optimize your morning, if you want to know how to put yourself in an abundant mindset, if you want to know how to work your subconscious and so that you're always in a productive state, and that you can achieve your dreams, if you want to know how to just maximize yourself, optimize yourself, human optimization, I'm here, dog. But when it comes to like treaties and deals and laws, I don't fucking know. But you seem to have a little more understanding of politics.
I mean, I try to read about it, but the thing is, it's like it's in one ear and out the other. Like, I only maintain the information for a short period of time.
Yeah.
And then my brain naturally just holds on to what it likes more, which is like movies and chicks and like sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And the politics just kind of like floats away. Like, to really maintain knowledge of that subject, it's like I have to be way too vigorous, and I just don't have the energy.
Like, for me, dude, like politics, they just don't seem sexy.
Yeah.
You know? I know that being like a dude that's full of grit and fully optimized, that's going to lead to more chicks.
And to be totally candid, we'd probably care more if our lives were more precarious. You know what I mean? Like, if we were struggling to survive, or if we were dealing with an oppressive system that was marginalizing, our well-being, we would probably have more need to be informed.
Yeah, like I'm passionate about parking enforcement.
Yeah, because it affects you.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
And because they're fucking assholes.
Yeah, because they're pieces of shit that like don't know what the fuck they're doing, and
but they're chill.
Yeah,
and they deserve
the
the right to happiness.
Agree to disagree, my friend.
No, I'm just trying to keep it positive.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, of course they're barns.
No,
you know what I mean? They really do like when you think of them, you're like, have I ever had a good moment with parking enforcement? It's like, no, it's only been negative.
Dude, the worst is when you're like, dude, I paid for that spot, and they don't respond because they're so like annoyed at people just like talking back to them that they just keep walking and making tickets, and you're like, can you please respond to me?
Yeah, be a human. Well, because I think they're trained to not respond. I remember one time I parked in 5-minute loading and I ran into a store.
Yeah.
And then before the 5 minutes were out, like, whoosh, pan, I turn and look, and I just see a parking attendant writing me a ticket. So I ran out to the car. I'm like, hey, I haven't been here for more than 5 minutes. What are you doing? Like, put away your thing. And then he was like, totally unresponsive.
Yeah.
So I just went, fuck it. I jumped into the front seat of my car, backed it up, and went to pull out. And then he came running up and started banging on the window. He's like, stop, stop, stop. Mm-hmm. And I just kept driving. I kept like moving like I was going to leave. And then he like I started driving away, and he ran with my car and was banging. He's like, stop. And so finally I stopped and I rolled down the window. I was like, what? And he's like, when I talk to you, listen. I was like, you didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
I was like, you didn't listen to me like 3 minutes earlier.
Fuck you, dude.
And then I was like, plus you're giving me a ticket. I hadn't even been here for 5 minutes. And then he was like, you have to be in the car for the 5 minutes of loading and unloading.
Yeah.
Or at least near it. And I was like, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah. And then I was like, all right. And he's like, all right, you can go, no ticket. And I was like, so it was kind of worth it to defy you. Yeah.
I think you may have told that story on the pod before.
No.
But
did I tell it that well?
That was I think we should keep it in.
I'm very concerned about this. I asked you earlier. I was like, did I tell this fight story already? You were like, I don't think so. I'm like, at some point, I'm just going to be like Adam Carolla, where it's just like, you're like, dude, yeah, I've heard about your friend Ray 65,000 times.
Or like Joe Rogan, who's like, they're talking about something, they're like talking about like meat, and he's like, yeah, because like I think in the future, we're going to have this augmented experience. And you're like, Joe, I've heard about your augmented experience theory 1,000 times. Why do you have to keep going to that? He's like, just because like we're going to like transport to this world where like emotions don't even exist. It's just pure ecstasy, you know? I'm like, Joe,
shut the fuck up.
Why do you look so bloated?
I know. Can we get into it a little bit? Like, we love and respect Joe Rogan so much.
Yeah, I love you, dude.
I obviously did that video that was like a tribute to him. But sometimes when I look at him, like when I watch the video feeds of his podcast or when I look at pictures of him, I'm like, why are you so wet? And why are you so red when you're like the healthiest guy alive? And I think it's got to be from the testosterone replacement therapy he does.
Yeah. Oh, he does that?
Yeah, I think he does TRT. I think he's getting shots of testosterone. Which is,
that
I mean,
legal?
also why he has such amazing energy and he's so physically capable. No, you can get a prescription for it. That's what I did when I was like, I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod, but when I was like 18, I just wanted to be jacked.
Yeah.
So I started seeing a wellness doctor at a clinic who would shoot me in the butt with 100 milligrams of test and was giving me HGH to plug in my belly.
How'd you feel?
Dude, amazing. I was so strong. I had so much energy. But
are there negative effects?
yeah, I think without knowing too much about it, the movie Bigger, Stronger, Faster is really good about steroids in America, and it just kind of talks about more of like the psychological factors that make us want to do steroids, you know, like the insecurity and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like no one's ever died from steroids officially. Like people think Lyle Alzada, who played defensive tackle for the Raiders, died from it, but he had brain cancer, and there's other doctors who say there's not a direct causation from those two things.
Yeah.
If I'm using these words right. And then, but the things that did happen to me is my face got fat, and by the time I got off of it, I have sensitive shoulders, as you guys can hear them crack. Hold on, let me get a good one. There we go. And by the time I got off of them, I'd been working out like twice a day. My shoulders were shot. Like I could barely lift my arms because I just overworked them tremendously. And I think I only did it for a couple months, but I think if you do it long term, for certain you're going to have some heart problems, some liver problems, and it can enlarge your organs and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, anything you put into your body, there's a cost. There's no free lunch.
Yeah.
But if you're like 80 and you're doing it and people are like, you're going to die. I'm like, yeah, but you're also kind of jacked and healthier than any other 80-year-old I know, so it might be worth the cost of doing business.
This is kind of the way I work. I trust everyone until someone tells me that person's a psycho, and then I automatically think they're a psycho.
Right. Well,
And
people
so
have people told you I'm a psycho?
Well, I know you're a good psycho. No one's told me that. I just figured it out.
It was clear. I told you up top.
Yeah, no, I saw you like helicoptering your cock, and I'm like, that guy's a psycho, but I love it.
Yeah, right.
No, just so. But there's been times like when I've been with you and we met dudes, and I'm like, oh, that seems like a really solid guy, and you're like, pump the brakes, chief, and then you lay out these things. I'm like, those are some good points. Thank you for protecting me.
Right.
So I don't know how the law could enforce this, but I'm gonna say we should have some kind of thing where we try to help gullible people out. Yeah, like for the longest time, I thought that Sprite was a refreshing beverage for after a basketball game because I watched Kobe drink Sprite after basketball games and all those commercials. And it wasn't until many years later, after long bouts of dehydration, that someone was like, look, dude, you need to switch to Gatorade. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, or like chocolate milk, where they're like, it's good for your muscles. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, and then you're like, is it actually good for my muscles?
Yeah.
Although I heard LSU's football team drinks chocolate milk instead of protein shakes after workouts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They all get Nesquik.
Yeah. So everyone should go there.
Dude, going back to the psycho thing, now that I think about it, you did tell me that you were a psycho.
Yeah.
You're like, I think we were in the car or something. You're like, yeah, I'm a psycho. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And you're just like, I'm a psycho. I'm like, all right, dude.
Well, that's it. My thing was always like, and it can upset my girlfriend or my family members sometimes because I'll just like meet strangers and I'll tell them like the most outrageous things about me. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, I'm like a chronic masturbator. Oh, like I got kicked out of high school. Or like, oh, I went to jail for this thing. Or like, oh, I like, and for me, it's more like I trust that I'm actually a good person. So that's a big part of it. And the other thing is I don't want other people to feel duped. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, hey, bro, let me tell you up top that you're about to get into a friendship with a real fucking psychopath. Okay. You good with that?
Yeah.
Are you cool? And then most people are like, yeah, you seem all right. And I'm like,
It's exciting.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Buckle up, motherfucker.
It's a very unique way of thinking about like how to,
Negate that stuff.
people getting duped.
Yeah. Because I think that happens a lot where like in like relationships, people will be like, you made me think I was like dating this kind of person. And then you turned out to like not be that person.
Yeah.
Like people up top in relationships will like hide who they really are so that they can get the other person to like date them.
Yeah.
And I just think that's like, so then you're not going to be able to maintain that. 6 months from now, they're going to see who you actually are. And then you're going to look like a liar.
Yeah.
Who's your babe of the week?
My baby of the week is Shannon Elizabeth, who is you might know her as Nadia from the American Pie series. Dudes, one of the first movies where I ever saw a pair of melons was American Pie. And I'm the youngest bro, I'm the fifth child. And so like all my siblings, my bros, my sisters, they're all watching it. And my mom was super anti. She was like, Chad is not ready for this. He's not ready for this. I'm like, Mom, please just, let me be one of the gang. And she's like, he's not ready. Finally, after a long persuasion, I was like, Mom, just let it happen. So she let it happen. I watched American Pie. Shannon Elizabeth comes on, undresses, and it was like an explosion in my little youth mind of just, explosion in like my eyeballs and my dong piece, because she had just the most fantastic melons I think I've ever seen. And that moment has stuck with me. I probably wake up and think about it every morning, because I think that's, You know how people say like there's like your life before, then your life after. Like you know, there's like a turning point. There's like a turning point when your life switches and like changes. Seeing Shannon Elizabeth's melons was that moment for me. So, and also she just made me really open to like foreign exchange students, because in the movie, she's a foreign exchange student. So that made me really sort of open to like in high school, you know, I think it can sometimes be hard for them to make friends, which is like really not chill, because like, you know, they're from a different country, a different culture. They have like a super amount of things to offer. So, yeah, Shannon Elizabeth, thank you for making me open-minded. Thank you for introducing me to the female form. Thank you for just being an amazing actress and playing Nadia so well. And thank you for making me super excited about high school and partying, because I came into high school full steam ahead, just ready to do it and just, you know, have study sessions with hot Romanian chicks. So, Shannon Elizabeth, you're my babe of the week.
Brilliant.
Who's your babe?
My babe of the week is Georges St. Pierre, the longest tenured welterweight title holder in UFC history, which is 170 pounds. Michelle Beadle on Sports Nation like 6 years ago said he had the best body in sports. So he's a babe that way. But the real reason I like him so much is because like in this new age of mixed martial arts, like post Conor McGregor, everyone has to like talk shit like now, and Conor McGregor's amazing at talking shit. So when he does it, it's different because it's authentic. But now there's this dude like Colby Covington who's like, oh, fucking all Brazilians are idiots, and like I'm the fucking man, and like he does videos where he's like, what's up, betas, and he like flexes at him. It's like super homoerotic. And I don't even think he knows that though. I think he just thinks he's being like a badass.
Yeah.
But he sucks at shit talking, but he's doing it and it's working. It's getting him attention, which is sort of a bugaboo. But, you know, it'd be fun if he gets his face smashed. And then George St. Pierre was like not like that at all. He was always very respectful. Like he'd come in a full gi. He'd bow. When he talked about other fighters, he'd be like, hey, so, you know, I'm very excited to fight Carlos Condit. He's a good fighter, and I respect his initiative and his ability, and it will definitely be tough. But I think if I execute my game plan, I will win. And you're like, oh, that was like... He was just a professional. And he came back this year and fought up a weight class and beat Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping does only have one eyeball, though, so kudos to him for still fighting. And, yeah, George, you've just always been a class act, and you and your whole camp at TriStar with Faraz Sahabi, very smart, very pragmatic approach to martial arts. And, yeah, I just think for a hot dude who can kick ass, you display a lot of modesty, and, you know, that's good.
It's a solid babe.
Thank you.
Solid babe.
Who's your beef of the week?
Beef of the week. This one's a hot one. All right. My beef of the week is with one of the dudes in my squad from college, Carter. I love you, dude, but I'm going to have to cite this beef. So this dates back to senior year of college. Our last hurrah, spring quarter, we were trying to just live it up as much as possible because we knew that life would end after college, because that'd be the end of nonstop partying. That was the perception. We're like, we're just gonna live this up. We're gonna party as much as we can, and it was Memorial Day weekend, I believe, you know, close to graduation, so we were going hard. And there's a Saturday coming up, big day party day. There are about 3 day parties going on, so we're gonna go to each one. And you know, in my partying schedule, I'd say, you know, I'd go pretty hard. I'd start boozing around like 9 a.m. on Saturdays to really get, you know, my juice flowing. And according to my schedule, I would usually run out of gas around 4 p.m. or so. So I'm like, you know what? I need to prepare because I really need to live this Memorial Day up. So I went to Panda Express and I got a fuck ton of orange chicken. Super dank, super delicious, tangy, refreshing, salty, every kind of flavor you want. It really just pops in your mouth. So I got a bunch of orange chicken, put it in the fridge. I'm like, I'm going to attack that at 4 p.m. so I can rage through the night. So
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, so I'm raging, getting after it, having the best time ever. 4 p.m. rolls around, gas tank is low, feeling empty. I'm like, I don't want to turn to stimulants because they shrink your dick. So I was like, I'm going to go get that orange chicken, maybe watch some like Real World or something, and refuel. So I go to the fridge, orange chicken, gone. Stoke meter, low. Me, pissed. And I looked, Ass Clown was actually in the house at the time. I'm like, Ass Clown, do you know where my orange chicken went? And he's like, oh yeah, Carter was eating it earlier. And I'm like, oh, he was? Are you sure? And he's like, actually, there's a Snapchat of him eating it. I see him just joyously eating my orange chicken. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I go, Carter. And he's like, what's up, dude? I'm like, dude, you ate my orange chicken. And he's like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, here's proof, dog. And he's like, yeah, no, I didn't.
He still denied it?
He still denied it. He will still deny it.
To this day?
To this day.
Ah, that drives me crazy.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, proof, dog. And he's like, yeah, it's not your orange chicken. I'm like, it says Chad on the box.
No, it didn't.
Dude, it was so clearly my orange chicken. If for some reason he could not own up to it. I think he was so ashamed of ruining that my pre-planned orange chicken fest. So, yeah, my beef of the week is with you, dude. Just own up to what you did. You ate that orange chicken, dog.
Wow.
So, that's my beef.
Did he post the Snapchat story himself?
No, Ass Clown was doing the Snapchat.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But, man, just going back to that brings me back so many good memories. Oh, I love those day parties.
All right. My legend of the week is one of my dearest dogs, Reggie. Reggie's a beast. Reggie is like good vibes. Like when you meet him, you're just like, oh, this guy's like super down to earth and chill. But here's the thing. Inside of that chill package is like a super smart super computer. So like you're chilling with them, you're just having a good time, you're relaxing, just smoking some pot, watching some comedy. But at the same time, your brain is like low key getting bigger. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's a great like combination. And like he makes comedic connections that make me feel like my brain's like running on a treadmill, like just like so linear and stuck. And his is like in just like a wild jungle, you know what I mean? Where there's like just so much to choose from and so much to look at. It's really inspiring. And just some examples of that, and like I know my dog Reg, I know sometimes I reference these too much, but they were huge for me as a young man to see someone make these jokes. Like sometimes someone makes a joke and it like opens up a door in your head where you're like, well, I've never even been in this room. Yeah. Like we were watching Team America, the South Park guys movies, and the eyebrows were moving. There was like 15 of us watching in a room all super baked, and the eyebrows were moving on the dolls, and someone was like, how do they make their eyebrows move? And there was like 2 seconds of silence, and then Reggie just went, motors. I was like, what? Yes! Yes! Motors, dude! And then one time we were just drinking beers, chilling, and Reggie just looked at me and he's like, dude, do you know what Bon Jovi means in English? And I was like, no, I don't. What does it mean? He goes, good Jovi. And I was like, yes! Yes! The best, dude! Yes. So he would just drop those little like pearls and he'd be like, dude, thank you. You've just made me a little bit sillier for the moment and I feel better now. Mm-hmm. It's fun to live in a silly world.
Silliness is the best.
And Reggie can play in that world all day, but he can also get work done. Like he's a hard worker. Like sometimes we were working at the same place for a while. He and I are both hedonists, so we would chase the night. We'd rock it. Like we would just go like 24 hours hard, like drinking bar to bar, like getting into wild experience, messing with weirdo people. And then the next day we'd both stroll into work at like 7 a.m. and he'd just be like on it, just like da 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 da. And I was like, dude, you got the constitution of a fucking bear, man, and that is rare. And that's rhymed. And he's just fun to kick it with. To my dog Reggie, thank you. All right, who's your legend of the week?
All right, my legend of the week is one of my pledge bros, Kip. What up, Kip? Actually, I didn't really kick it with Kip. He like moved out after freshman year, so like we didn't really like kick it to the full extent for the 4 years. But I gotta give it up to him for being a legend during Hell Week of pledgeship. So Kip, one might say a bit of a goober, you know. One might say the only reason he got a bid is because his roommate was getting a bid, and the dudes felt bad because he was in the room at the time and also wanted to get in the fraternity. So they're like, oh, fuck, we'll give this fucking guy a bid.
Mercy bid. Yeah,
mercy bid. So one might say that. One might say he was just kind of a straight-up dweeb. And yeah, he kind of was all those things, but this dude had the heart of a lion, and he was really committed to just becoming one of the dudes. You know, he committed to solid brotherhood, committed to living life to the fullest. So like, there's one moment during pledgeship when like the guys were really just ragging on him hard. During Hell Week, they were really just going after him. They're like, Kip, you piece of shit, stand up, you know? And they're just like, recite the alphabet, dude. Fucking do the founder's monologue. And he would just do all this shit, you know? And they're like, Kip, you suck, you know? And they're just really breaking him down like a Navy SEAL. And they're like, Kip, do push-ups. And he's also kind of soft, too, so physical activity was not his forte. So Kip, yeah. But he was getting after it, you know? And then they were breaking him down for like 2 hours, and you know, and then he was just like, he started like crying. They're like, Kip, do the alphabet again. He's like, dudes, and then when the guy in charge, he's like, Kip, how do you feel? And he's like, and then in a moment of sheer like, where like a phoenix rises, he just like stands up. He's like, I feel amazing. I want to get through this with all of you. And we're all just sitting there blindfolded like, whoa, Kip became a man just now. And he's like, bros, lift me up. And we just like lifted him up, you know, and then like.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
Dude, that's like the scene in Miracle where they're like, who do you play for? He's like,
yeah.
The United States of America.
Yeah. And it's just, we're just in the basement of a frat house.
Dude, but that's where magic happens everywhere.
Yeah, you just got to break a dude down until he really realizes who he really is.
Yeah, but in that moment, his character just shined.
Yeah, and we were just all sitting there, I want to get through this with all of you. I feel like I could do anything. So, yeah, Kip, you're a legend in that moment, dude. You're a fucking beast. And, yeah, thank you for making Pledgeship that much more enjoyable. And thank you for taking the brunt of all their torture. And just sort of made me think about, you know, like the Navy SEALs and shit. What's up, Stokers? This episode of Going Deep with Chad and JT is brought to you by Kevin Fard, attorney at law. Did you, a friend, or a loved one just have the worst night of your life getting busted for a DUI? Getting popped by an undercover squeeze thinking you were just paying for love? Getting thrown in the slammer for squaring up with a boogie boarder who dropped in front of your barrel? Don't worry, Kev's got your back. Give Kevin Fard, attorney at law, a call at 213-290-6464 and ask how he can defend you. That's 213-290-6464 or kevinfardlaw.com. That's Kevin, KEVINFARD law.com. Serving Southern California, this is a legal advertisement and does not constitute legal advice or an attorney-client relationship. Epic. And this is me, Chad, going off book here. And I just want to say Kevin is a solid dude. He'll have your back both in the court and in the pub. And he is just a fucking beast.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some questions.
We gotta do that dude, Keat.
Up top is Keat, who's written into the pod several times, and this is our first time getting to him, so thank you for being persistent, Keat. What up, Chad and JT? I recently listened to your pod where JT is super hungover after drinking way too many mimosas at brunch and woke up the next morning just feeling guilty for whatever reason. I could not relate more and showed that segment to several of my compadres and received reciprocated laughter and nods of approval in return. I black out a fair amount. A lot. I guess you can say I have a problem with blacking out. And it's not that I can't handle my alk. I just drink a ton and I'm probably an alcoholic. High functioning. But it's chill because it's college. Anyway, despite always having a killer night, I always wake up feeling guilty for whatever reason and have that fuck what the fuck did I say do last night before a blacking moment in my head. Sometimes I get the news back that I was really funny. Delightful. However, other times I'll get stories back that I really wasn't at my best. Lifting people up, trying to squeeze a plus-size man nipples, attempting to chime into two black girls' gossip, forcing my Uber to take shots with me, forcing my beautiful, awkward, fat friend Gubby to moon people, always ends bad, ruining a relationship with a girl I'm talking to, etc. Although all fun and games, I want to put an end to these blackouts once and for all, as the feel of guilt the next morning is just unbearable. What do I do, Chad and JT? Please help. And please don't say stop drinking as much, because that's not an option. I can't. I'm probably an alcoholic, but it's chill because it's college. Do you know any remedies to prevent these blackouts and or the feelings of guilt the next morning? Thanks for always making me laugh and inspiring me every Wednesday, boys. Best, Keat.
he asked us to not say don't stop drinking. That's tough, dude, because it sounds like you're in this rhythm of like, you're like, I'm in college, I need to rage. It's a sort of denial where you're like, we're like, yeah, I do have those traumatizing mornings, but I'm in college and I need to rage. This is a necessity. And it's like I think you would actually enjoy yourself and your life much more if you found a way to slow it down and just chill. Like, imagine waking up on a Saturday not hungover so you could go shred. You know, that would be a pretty epic morning.
You need to drink less so that you don't have to give it up completely. Like, I used to tell my buddy Austin before we blazed weed together, I'd be like, dude, look, we can't do this too much or then we can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Because it seems like, I'm not saying you have a problem, but I don't think you would have written in if it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
So the thing I would tell you to do is give it up for a month. Prove to yourself that you don't need it. Because right now it's definitely a dependency, which isn't an addiction yet, but it's a dependency. That's still bad, and you're on the trajectory towards addiction. So give it up for a month and just see what that feels like. Prove to yourself that you can rage hard and have fun sober, and then when you go back to the sauce, it won't be out of necessity. It'll be out of choice. And then the other thing I would tell you is to for every drink you have a glass of water in between.
That's a good point, yeah.
What up, Chad and JT? I'm a senior in high school, and I've been crushing on this girl in my grade for a while now. She's super cute and nice and is in my league, too. A rare find. The only problem is that we're both pretty shy, and I don't know her all that well. Dude, super cute. So I feel like it might be weird and awkward to ask her out. With summer coming up soon, I'm in a time crunch to make a decision before we part ways after graduation. What should I do, guys? Put it all on the line and ask her out, or take my lack of opportunities to get to know her as a sign to wait for someone else? Also, if I should go for it, how should I motivate myself to do it and not wuss out? You dudes are awesome, and I love your podcast. Keep up the good work.
Dude, you gotta go for it, man.
You know what I do, dude? I tell other people I'm gonna do it, so then if I don't do it, the shame is even greater.
That's
like
good.
I tell my parents and like my friends, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna ask this girl out, or I'm gonna try and get this job.
Yeah.
And then if you tell enough people about it, you'll feel really bad if you don't do it, because then next time you see them, they'll be like, oh, did you ask out that chick? And you're like, no, I pussed out.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah.
And I just don't want people to look at me like that. So once I put it out into the world that I'm going for this thing, it puts pressure on me to do it.
And dude, these things that scare you, you know, like asking a girl out, like these things that make you super nervous, once you do it, the feeling of accomplishment after it's like the best feeling in the world. And also, to your point, it's a great point of letting people know. Like, I was eating at a diner with Joe the other night. I'm like, dude, I think I'm gonna ask out the waitress, and he's like, good, you should. I'm like, thank you, Joe. And then, you know, but I pussed out, guys. I'm just gonna be honest. I pussed out, and after Joe's like, nice asking that chick out, puss.
Right.
And I'm like, thank you, Joe, for putting me in my place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, do it.
Sort of unrelated. I was watching the Avengers yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's all about, superheroes stepping up even though it's impossible odds.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking I don't even mean for this to be badass, but it might sound that way. Like, if someone challenges me to a fight, I think the thing I would say is I've walked away from every fight I'm going to walk away with. I already hit that cap in my life, so we're going to throw down because I'm just done walking away. Yeah. I've walked away from enough fights. I've had my fill.
Yeah.
I hit my quota. It's time to stand and do this.
Yeah. And then you choke slam him.
And then I fucking put my dong in his mouth. And just
dude, wrong fight.
Dude, I used to... I was on ecstasy, and my friends told me I was arguing with a veteran who was in the wrong, and my friends were saying I was saying crazy shit. I was like, get over here and I'll butt fuck you, dude. Come over here and get butt fucked. And I've done that before, and I always find it works as shit talking in a fight is just to go left to center, really attack the guy where he's not expecting it, and just be like, dude, come over here and I'll fucking make out with you and butt fuck you. And then the guy's like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
That's worst case scenario in a fight.
Yeah.
So if you don't ask this girl out, my dog, I'll butt fuck you.
DP, baby. We'll both butt fuck you.
Dude, if you don't ask this chick out, Chad and I are gonna fucking DP you, dog.
And not like mouth and butthole. Two in butthole.
Two in the butthole, dude. So how's that for motivation? You're a good kid. All right. Fellas, I got a pretty pressing issue that I'm sure you bros can help me out with. Last summer, me and my squad were mad tight and did everything together. We had the best times and went hard in the paint, as Waka Flocka put it best. However, one of our bros has recently been distancing himself from us for what seems like no reason and is kind of breaking up our group. I used to be really tight with this bro, and this being the summer before freshman year at college, I want this time to be full of unity and max stokage. I think this is a problem everyone experiences. However, I wanted to hear your sage opinions on it. Do I let this bro go, or do I try to bring this group back together for one last banger before we go our separate ways? By the way, keep my name anonymous because my squad watches the pod. Thanks, bros. I had friends in high school who went on a religious retreat, and when they would come back, they were experiencing like serenity, but it changed them in other ways. Like they didn't like to socialize with us the way they did before, and it agitated me. It made me angry because I felt like they were being a bit pious and like thinking they were like, you know, cooler than me or like more enlightened than me. But the thing was, dude, I wasn't going to be able to argue them into staying tight with me. You just got to let the bird fly away, and if it comes back, it's meant to be. And in my case, they did. I'm super tight with those guys still. They're still my road dogs, and I think you got to let people, you know, go on their own path, even if you think that path's a mistake, and just trust that it's just part of their journey.
I concur.
Yeah, and get into your own weird shit. All right, fellas, I got a press issue that I'm pretty sure you bros can help me out with. Last summer, me and my squad were mad tight. Oh, no, I just read that. I'm 27 and live in... What up, bros? I'm 27 and live in Orlando, Florida. Nice. I have a question on Journey that is Bumble. Now, I do okay on Bumble, but I was drinking with some bros, and they mentioned how you shouldn't post pictures of yourself with your hunting or fishing trophies in your Bumble profile to increase your odds on matching. Not only do I have pictures of myself fishing on my profile, but I fish obsessively. With girls seeing dead fish as offensive, do you think it's a loss of self-identity to not disclose your passion? For the record, I'm not looking for a serious relationship or anything on Bumble. Really just a good time that's more than a one-night stand. Well, you kind of want it both ways there, dog. But I understand the whole context of this question, though. I really just want to throw flies and not tell lies. Thanks, bros. P.S. Ironically enough, grabbed a match as I was writing this question, so this question might be for the birds. Oh, congratulations on the match, my dog. That's very exciting. What do you think, Chad? Should he take out pictures of dead animals so that he's got a better shot at matching up with some girls who are sensitive to that, which is, you know, a pretty big portion of the pop?
I don't know, dude. I wouldn't want to. It's sort of like what you were saying, how you're open about people about how you're a psycho. I wouldn't.
Don't call me a psycho.
I wouldn't. Just so casual. You know, you tell people you're a psycho. Anyways, yeah, dude. So I wouldn't completely hide that side of yourself. You know, maybe have like one photo of you with like a huge trout, or maybe you like wrestling a marlin, or maybe you just like filleting a big fucking Dorado fish. Just whatever floats your boat, my dog. But you know, so because I think maybe you want to find a lady who shares the same passions, and you know, you don't want to sort of lie about who you are. So I would maybe not overdo it, but I wouldn't completely hide it. JT?
Yeah, dude, I would say this. And I know earlier in the pod I was preaching upfront honesty, but you have to get the person in the room first. So I do think on your dating apps, it's good to kind of avoid things that are going to alienate people that you might be able to connect with, you know? And the thing is, they don't know you, so they see dead animals. And even though it's a big part of your life, it's not your whole personality, you know what I mean? So I don't think you're being disingenuous to just remove those things. I think you're just being smart, dude. You know, so I would take those out. My friend Jay, who we mentioned earlier, he had a picture where he's like laying next to a sleeping kangaroo, but the kangaroo has like red fur around its neck, so it looks like the kangaroo's dead. And Jay does pretty well on Bumble and Tinder because he's a handsome guy, but I think he'd do a whole hell of a lot better if girls didn't think there was a dead kangaroo in his profile photo.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So maybe take it out of your profile pic. And then when you meet them on the first date and they're like, what are you into? Be like, oh, I'm like actually really into hunting and fishing. But now that they're there, you can explain to them why you like it so much. And it's not them, because if they just see it on your profile, it's a one-sided argument. They're like, oh, this guy's a monster, he kills animals. But then when you meet them, you can actually be like, no, this is like a tradition that's been in my family, and these deers are overpopulated in the area, and we're actually helping the ecosystem by eliminating a few of them, and the meat's really healthy, and we take good care of it, and it's not, inhumane, like machine processed, death machines. So I would take it out of your profile photos.
But include the ones with you in cool camo, because camo's fucking sweet.
What up, Chad and JT? First off, I'm a huge fan of your work. You two have inspired a whole generation to perform our civic responsibilities with the utmost poise, passion, and professionalism. Man, I'm beyond honored to hear you say that. Thank you so much, man. You're too kind. I'm facing some serious qualms right now and really need the advice of the two most respected brohemes in the entire galaxy, potentially even the universe. Come on, dog. I was recently diagnosed with a case of margarita photodermatitis. It turns out lemon or lime juice on your skin can make you hypersensitive to UV rays, creating a rash that looks like chemical burns where the lemon juice was. I was in AZ for a wedding a week ago. After landing in Phoenix, I met my bros at the Airbnb where there was a plethora of tequila that was begging to be distributed and ingested within the rituals of marriage and brotherhood. I'm not usually one for lime or lems with my tequila, but there was a lemon tree in the backyard. You got to do it. Naturally, I snagged some lemons and went to town on them. I now have discolored splotches along my arm and side where I was holding the cut lemons, like I was nursing newly born babies from my teat. The skin ailment almost makes it look like I was traveling through the desert on a horse with no name, aka mainlining some smack. With the heat of summer upon us and pool parties abound, I am in deep despair. The dermatologist recommends keeping out of the sun till everything heals. This could be multiple weeks till full recovery. Plus, I don't want to look like some sort of freak show to all the banging hot babes. Like I can't print out the Wikipedia page and show every one of them it's just getting sloppy with some fat, juicy lemons. Chad, JT, what do I do? My mind and body and soul are craving a good pool rager and jello shots dispensed from two well-bronzed knockers. Maybe I just stick to small kickers where I can throw on the unbuttoned long sleeve as a fashion statement that also hides my battle wounds from the sun. Please bestow your infinite wisdom upon me and for anyone else going through a case of margarita photodermatitis. Thank you for all the stokage you bring to the world. You are beacons of light in times of darkness, a lighthouse for sailors lost at sea. Quentin.
Wow, Quentin, first off, thank you so much for those ultra kind words. That just really warmed my soul to like a level that's like really legit. JT?
My take is, informed by my experiences and the things I've witnessed. So they may be specific only to me and it may not work out this way again, but you're playing hurt. And I remember seeing one of my bros play hurt, and it was one of the most Herculean efforts I've ever seen in the field of snagging babes. My dog, A-Bomb, Andrew, has hairy arms. He's got a hot body, striking face, and he was in a period of his life where he was, maybe grooming a bit too much. So he tried to nair his arms. He left the nair on for too long, and he ended up causing severe burns up and down his arms just before 4th of July. I mean, he looked like a lobster. It was really bad. So he was going to stay home for 4th of July, and I wouldn't allow it. I said, dog, get up, and let's finish what we started. So we ended up hiking over to Newport Beach. Andrew ended up going out to the bars that night. A super hot chick from Russia was dancing on a table. They ended up hooking up all weekend, having sex on the beach. I remember I really pissed her off because I kept playing Back in the USSR and saying, hey, why'd you put this on? And framing her for putting it on. But then she looked at me with stoic eyes and said, I don't understand the joke. Stop. And I was like, all right, fair enough. And I cut it out. All right. I took her signal and realized I was being obnoxious. But Andrew had one of the most beautiful weekends of his life. And, him and his girlfriend listen to this pod.
Oh, shit.
This was long before he met you. And when I see him look at you, I know he loves you deeply. And if he could go back in time and meet you before he met these other girls, I know in my heart, honest to God, he would do that.
He's going to show up your door, dude, what the fuck did he do?
But he did meet this Russian chick and hook up with her while he had lobster arms. And it's part of the reason I respect him so much, that he was able to do something that cool while he was dinged up. So, Quentin, maybe you can do the same, my dog. What up, Chad and John Thomas? Oh, dude, good call. That is my name. I've been going deep with the pod since day one. You guys are always give solid advice, and I'm seeking your wisdom. I was hooking up with this Betty for a while now, and she caught major feels. One day she told her friend she wanted a serious relation. I caught winds of this, and it drained my stoke tank. I went from being a fun time to something I was conflicted about, so I eased off her for a bit. Then she goes and hooks up with some Barney. I didn't think I would care, but once I found out, I was bummed. Several months passed, and now she's hitting me up again. We've been talking, and she's interested once more. I'm interested in her, but not sure if I want a serious relationship. Do I lock it down, or do I let it go? Seriously need help here. David, P.S. I haven't written this much since high school. Dude, I never wrote that much in high school, dog.
Nice. I think you're thinking too much in the future. Put yourself in the present moment, dog, you know? Because you're just like, oh, she wants a serious relation. I got to cut it off now. Dude, I've done that so many times where, you know, I'll start to get interested in a girl, and then she'll be interested, and I'll be like, wait, what about these other options? Am I committing too hard? And then I end up messing it up, and I totally regret it. So let things play out. Let that cookie crumble, dude. Go to Miss Fields' cookie shop and let the cookie crumble the way it crumbles, because you know, you don't know what she really, really wants, you know? So, you know, just if you like her, enjoy your time with her, you know? Do the things that you got, you know, have fun. And then if she, like, asks you straight up, look, I want to get into a serious relation, you're like, well, I don't, then that's that. But I wouldn't make assumptions and then cut everything off, you know? Especially if you get upset at her hooking up with straight-up Barnos, dude. You know, that can be... I think that's a telltale sign that maybe you should keep kicking it with her and, you know, go get some pokey.
And it's hard, dude, because, like, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, maybe he really likes her, and I'm like, maybe he's just a competitive guy. You know what I mean? And he doesn't like, and he's just being territorial, and he doesn't like someone else, especially a Barno, you know, dipping into the same place where he's been. But at the same time, the girl I'm with now, my girlfriend, my love, when we first got together years ago, because we've kind of been on and off, I was into her, but I wasn't going to go for it. I was too nervous. I thought she was too cool for me. And then one of my best buddies started going for her. And then I was like, and he had like kind of snaked a few other chicks from me. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to miss out on something that could be really special because of this dude. And him going for her pushed me to go for her even harder. And then we ended up getting together. So sometimes it takes a reminder that you can lose out on something to remind yourself that you want something. And because you can take stuff for granted until you're afraid of losing it. So maybe this is just what you needed, dog. So go for it. You know what I mean? Whatever you do, just go for it.
Dude, what would Lao Tzu say in the Tao Te Ching? Stay present, dude. Enjoy the moment. And sometimes I try to abbreviate and it's not working. So the moment, I should complete that. And
recently, I've been trying to hit up this chick. The problem is that she recently became friends with my ex's friends from freshman year of college, but now my ex isn't friends with them anymore. This chick is cool from what I hear, and she's a babe. My friend's girlfriend was hanging with her one night when I drunk snapped her and asked what's up. I got blurry snaps and no words and got the hint and left her alone. It's a weird response. After that, I texted my boy's girlfriend to put in a good word, and she heard I was a bad guy. From my ex's friends, I'm guessing. Stoke is in the fucking basement, bros. My boy's girlfriend did end up putting in a good word, and then she hit me back, but I ignored her. Should I leave it like this as a no-go, or try to change her mind that I'm actually a good dude and go full send on the approach? Thanks, bros. Joey. Yeah, dude, fuck the chatter. Get in there.
Show who you really are.
Go for it, dog.
Yeah.
Figure out if she's cool.
Yeah. Go wear a jacket, unzip it, and show yourself shirtless underneath. And that's a metaphor, I think.
And I would just say, dude, don't like spend the whole time just trying to prove to her that you're a good guy. Like, figure out who she is too, because sometimes when you come in playing from a deficit, you can get obsessed with just like correcting the wrong. But that's the wrong mindset. Just like be in a place of flow and of non-judgment.
Yeah, act like you never heard that. She heard negative things about you. Just come in at like a fucking like Heath Ledger in A Knight's Tale.
Yes.
All right, dudes, that'll be it for episode 18 of the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Thank you, dudes, so much for tuning in. Thank you for writing in questions. I'm sorry if we didn't get to yours. We're trying to get to them all, so keep writing in, dudes. If you didn't get your question answered, write it in again. Check us out on iTunes. Leave us a review. We love those. And Check out our Patreon for bonus content, and stay stoked, Stokers.
And sorry, real quick, boom clap, Stokers. And I want to thank my main dog, Get Strider out of Benihana, for his Instagram messages about pistols, the guy who backdoored me with my girl. You really helped take some of the edge off me, dog, and I appreciate your counsel.
I gotta check those out.
Yeah.
Thanks, dudes. Hey, Stokers. We know that you guys are into boning. And we know that you guys are into preparation. And we know that you guys are into smooth function, which is why you need to choose Douglas Lubricant, the best in the biz, for smooth boning. We offer a ton of different fragrances, from strawberry to peach, which is a new one, to original, to anal, my favorite. And guys, this is just me, Chad, talking. Use Douglas. It will enhance your boning experience, especially with their new tingle technology, which really just sort of makes your whole dong piece explode. And chicks, you'll love it too. Don't want to be exclusive. Chicks will love Douglas too.
What's with me?